Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us at Right at Home. I am here with Ryan Johnson, the president and owner of Right Roofing. Right at Home, what we talk about is the homeowner's inside guide to getting it done right the first time. I am joined by Ryan Johnson. Like I said, how are we doing today, Ryan?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. It's a beautiful day outside. Looking forward to the Iowa State Fair starting up here pretty soon. That's one of my favorite things to do. So gotta
Yeah,
love summer in Iowa.
what's your favorite thing to eat at the state fair, Mike?
You're gonna cringe.
Yeah.
It's deep fried butter on a stick. Have you ever had it?
No.
It's basically a stick of butter.
Oh my God.
They bread it in this stuff that is like it tastes like a cinnamon roll. And then when you deep fry it, it kind of all melts into it's super healthy though. That's the good news. Because it's and then they coat it in like powdered sugar and cinnamon and yeah. So anyway, deep fried butter on a stick. So
wow, it's more like a cinnamon roll, mostly butter. Sounds like
it's amazing.
I'm a Euro guy myself.
I love the gyros out there. That's actually one of my favorite food. We guys get the big one and split it. So and obviously the cheese curds. That's just a staple.
Always.
So well, maybe I'll see you out there and I'll have to buy you a Mountain Dew or something.
Sounds good.
All right. So today we're going to be talking about what the smartest way to protect your roof and exterior investment. So these are higher dollar items, and when you spend the money on them and you invest in your home, you want to protect it. So today we're going to be covering what should homeowners do to maximize the life of their roof and exterior systems. So we'll kind of jump right into this. And let me ask you this. So why does regular maintenance usually cost less than waiting until a roofing or exterior problem becomes serious?
Yeah, after everything we've covered in this series here at Right Roofing in Des Moines, we want every Iowa homeowner to remember small investments prevent catastrophic cost later. That's the biggest thing, right? So if you're staying on top of maintenance and you understand that system, that it's all kind of connected, that understanding that and where your fail points are and what to look for, it just saves you so much money down the road and so many headaches down the road. Getting drywall repaired and fixed and new insulation and all that, it all gets really expensive really quick.
It does. I just finished my basement, and I know that that work is not cheap. Let's just put it that way. and now that it's done, I want to protect it. So, what should Iowa homeowners inspect every spring and fall to catch problems early before they start?
Yeah, so I mean, these small issues tend to build up. For regular homeowners that aren't going to get on their roof, you know what I mean? Just understanding how everything needs to kind of come together, just visual inspections, and then give Right Roofing a call, right? A lot of issues that we see, like when we get some of those big heavier rains where we get buckets of rain, a lot of the issues that we saw in this last big rain that we had was people just didn't have their gutters cleaned out. That's a really simple thing to do. Can be more difficult on some roofs, but just staying on top of that maintenance is going to be kind of a big deal. And then it's just regular inspections on it. A 5-year-old roof probably doesn't need that much of an inspection on it if it was done right the first time. But once you get to about that 10-year time frame, you're going to kind of want to be paying attention to some of those details that we've covered over the last few episodes, just to eliminate those problems. Because usually by 10 years, they kind of start to, if it was a poor installation, it's going to kind of start rearing its ugly head about that time.
Yeah, you and I have talked about it. By the time you already see the little gray spots on your ceiling in your kitchen or in your bedroom or whatever, it's too late. I mean, it's not too late, but there's going to be more than what you want. So, so why is it important to repair small roofing issues before they turn into much more expensive replacements? You know, I led you into that one.
Yes, you fix those small issues early, right? That $200 repair can save you $15,000 later, right? Just maintaining those pipe flashings. That's a pretty big one. Just a little sealant in the right areas. Do not go on the roof with a caulking gun if you don't know what actually is the problem. You'd be amazed at how many times we see, well, I went up there with the caulking and it stopped for a while, and the pipe flashings, the UV rays have eaten the gasket away, and they'll caulk all around the shingle in all the wrong areas instead of the one area that actually needs that sealant. They probably would have been better off just calling a professional to take care of that, and just eliminate so many issues down the road for you. You don't have sheeting replacement, you don't have drywall repairs. Most of the time we can kind of see those issues that are coming for you. Spending a little bit now saves a lot of pain later.
I can tell you right now that I've been on my roof 2 times. I've owned my home for 26 years, and both those times were 25 years ago. I am not getting up on my roof ever again in my entire life.
Yeah.
I have no business being up there, honestly, and nor does anybody else. I'm sorry, they just don't. Leave it to these guys. They know what they're doing. So it's kind of scary too. I mean, I'm going to be honest. For me, because I don't do that. So for me, I get nervous. I have a 2-story house.
Well, I've seen people get on their roofs in a rainstorm in an area that's been a constant issue, but they just weren't willing to actually call somebody to fix it properly. A broken arm isn't the worst thing. We see a lot of head injuries come out of it, and you're not the same ever again. An arm heals, right? You get broken bone will heal, but it's the head injuries that really get people and pretty much can ruin your life and your family's life really quickly.
And not to be too morbid, but it could end your life too. I mean, you fall the wrong way, fall on a landscaping brick, whatever. But yeah, so let's move on to something a little more fun. But so which roof transition points should homeowners pay the closest attention to over time?
It's where your siding and your roofing material meet, right? That's a super common area. Coordinating those areas properly are going to be pretty key. That's why doing the roof, the siding, the gutters together just makes it more of a cohesive system that works properly together. Same guys putting everything together. We're just making sure that we're channeling all that water properly. And understanding that system and how everything kind of works. It's going to be kind of difficult for the normal, customer or homeowner, but just having the basics of it, which we've covered a lot of those, is really going to just gives you a little bit better understanding of how everything needs to come together and work together as a cohesive system.
So you were talking about coordination of these systems. So Ryan, let's dive just a little deeper into that. And why can coordinating roofing, gutter, and siding projects all at the same time actually save you money and prevent future issues if you do coordinate those projects?
Sure. So a lot of roofs, when they know they have a siding project, and let's say they are not going to do it at the same time, and budget just doesn't allow, right? If we got to cut into to get into some of that siding work, you can spend anywhere from $500 to $5,000, right, to get those areas transitioned properly. Or if you're doing it at the same time, you could be saving potentially about $5,000. You're not paying for labor twice. You're not paying for the materials twice. Where a big side of that comes up is when you're doing siding and windows together. You're saving about 50% of the cost of that installation on that window as far as the labor side of it goes. Because
that makes sense.
At the same time, you don't have to cut out and deal with the siding around that window. The siding's already coming off and you're getting new siding. So you're saving all that labor is really where the huge savings comes from. So if you're telling me that, hey, we're going to do the siding this year and then we're going to do the windows next year, I'm going to be like, well, you might want to check your interest rate or your HELOC or however you're financing that, because paying that little interest, you still might end up, $5,000 ahead at that entire project. So you're not just coordinating, the cost for that home, but it's a financial decision. It just becomes a good financial decision for you in the future.
No, that makes, yeah, that when you break it down like that, people have to almost think about it like car repair. You can get a 80-cent part and there's $800 of labor to get in there and put that thing on. Labor,
Yep.
labor, 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 labor. And if the engine was already out of the car, then it'd just be an 80-cent part. Same kind of, people are pretty familiar with, that scenario because everybody gets their car fixed regularly.
Yep.
No, you only do your siding and windows every 20 years. I mean, it's kind of what it is.
Yep.
So yeah, I love the way you broke that down and explained that that labor it's costly. It just is.
Yeah.
Time, you have people and time, and
Yep.
they need to be paid. So,
Yep.
so what should homeowners look for in a contractor who takes the time to educate instead of simply trying to make a sell them something?
Yeah. So it's understanding all the components. They got to understand the entire system, and that's pretty much the key. It's the roof, it's the gutters, it's the siding, it's the ventilation, right? It's all one exterior system when you think about it. It all has to work in conjunction with each other. If they're selling you on, oh, this product is the best and this is going to solve all your problems, it's not. You can put on the most expensive roofing product you want, and if you're not paying attention to the transition, how that product is working with everything else that your home has, it's still going to be a problem. You spend $50,000 on a new metal roof that's supposed to be the most bulletproof thing ever, and if you didn't pay attention to those details, that's going to be an issue. And that's the smartest thing you can do, is just think a step or two ahead and besides what you're actually just doing that time. Start thinking a little bit more long term.
No, that makes, yeah, because like you said, you got to think of that all as one system that's protecting your home. Again, I like to just pull it down and talk to people like they're five, because that's how I understand things. It's just like if I have a coat, and then the sleeves zip off to make it a vest, and the hood zips off. When I put them all together, those zippers have to be right to get me protected in wintertime. If I don't zip them up, is that a good analogy?
Yep,
It's
for sure.
like all the
Absolutely.
systems, because I have one of those coats. I can make a cool vest out of it, and I can zip on the sleeves. You can't see them, and I can zip on a hood, but I can take that all off and break them down. But individually, those things, none of them are worth anything.
Yeah.
But when you put them together,
if you don't zip it up all the way,
if I only zip it
you're gonna get a
halfway,
breeze.
I'm going to get in leaks.
It's not going to do its job. That's a great analogy, Mike. I like that one, actually.
Yeah, so you can use that.
Yeah.
So like I said, I mean, shoot, go buy one of those coats and show somebody. When you put it in somebody's face, that kind of, it's like, make your home exterior just like this coat. And I'm telling you, that's kind of the way I thought about it when you and I first started talking. And I'm like, and then I was putting the sleeves on my coat, and because I did, to put it away for whatever. And you and I had talked this spring, and I was putting that away, and I'm zipping everything up. I'm like, this is kind of like his roof. It's all one system.
Yeah. If that zipper's not right, it's just like our step flashing, right? It's the same thing. If that zipper is not done right, it's all going to be always a pain for you, and
those elements are going to get in there.
Yep, exactly. That's where the cold air comes from. Yep.
Hey, so maybe I got you a little analogy you can use moving forward. So instead of you just educating me, maybe I helped you out a little bit this time.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
So, guys like me, here's what I got to think about. And you and I talked about this during that little time 6 years ago when everybody stayed home. We'll just leave it at that. I got a lot of home improvement projects done, like a lot of America did. So now we're 6 years into this. So what should a homeowner's 5-year, 10-year, and 20-year exterior maintenance plan look like? Because now I think I'm getting into that maintenance mode.
Yep. Um, yeah, it's just regular maintenance, right? So, um, your 5 years, you're not looking at much, right? It's pretty much like you just got a new roof, Mike, about 5 years ago. You're looking at pretty basic stuff right now, cleaning out your gutter, just keeping an eye on it, keeping the debris off of the roof, 10 years is where everything kind of starts for you, where you want to keep a little bit closer eye on it. It's kind of like when your vehicle gets 100,000 miles, right? Think of
Hmm.
it that exact same way. Well, I might have to, flush the tranny. I might have, a little bit more maintenance is going to come here. It doesn't mean that the car is trash and I need to get a new one, right? It just means that I might have some breaks to do, right? I might have some pipe flashings to replace on my roof. Um, I might have to think about, resealing around a window here and making sure that area is correct. Doesn't mean that, you're basically keeping it from blowing the engine, right? So
Yep.
if you can do this stuff, it's kind of like becomes like your oil change or whatever else. But 10 years, you're getting a little bit more maintenance. At 15 years, you're starting to take a little bit closer look at it. So now my pipe flashings has been replaced. So what's the integrity of the shingles look like? How's my siding holding up? At 10 years, typically people are refinishing their siding. They're going to repaint depending on what type of siding that you have. So that maintenance all starts to come, and actually being able to budget for it a little bit. It's nothing is forever anymore. You know what I
No.
mean? We do give 20-year warranty on all the roofs that we do. So we're trying to put this system together as bulletproof as we possibly can. Um, but, you know, right roofing, our philosophy has always been do it right the first time, pay attention to the details, and build relationships that last longer than the roof does, right? So that's what we're here for. So if it's 15, 20 years down the road, we did your roof 20 years ago. Sometimes people just want an upgrade. Not that the roof couldn't last a little bit longer than that, but we're here for you, right? So we're an easy call. We do inspections at 5 and 10 years regularly for our customers, just because we're wanting to stay on top of that stuff for you. So after 15 years, then you might need a yearly inspection, or a
That makes
bi-yearly
sense.
inspection from that point, and then you're budgeting for that as well, so, and we'll be able to give you budgeting numbers on what you're kind of in for coming up for as well. So
Beautiful. Beautiful. So we've gone through a lot today. Let's kind of wind this up. And I always like to, personalize this for you. So Ryan, let me know how does Right Roofing approach inspections, recommendations, and long-term relationships with homeowners?
it really comes down to right roofing. We just promise an honest assessment, quality details, and long-term relationships, right? So we're not here to take advantage of anybody. We want to tell you what our honest opinion is on that roofing system. um, I was just to a roof that we had replaced. I think it was back in 2008. My math, that's at 18 years ago, right? um, we were able to tell that guy that, hey, we got a little pipe flashing maintenance here that you need to be done, but he was ready to buy a roof. And I kind of, I think I might have hurt his feelings a little bit, but I was like, you've got more time on this. You know what I mean? Save your money, invest that money that you've already saved for it, because honestly, the product is holding up really well just in the environment that house was set in. And I'm like, you got at least 3 to 7 years on this thing. Give us a call back in 2 or 3 years and we'll take another look at it to see if you're in a different position, or if that roof has started to degrade a little bit more. So it's just an honest assessment of your roof. We're not looking to replace roofs that don't need to be replaced.
I love that. I love that. The only time you'd ever do that is, let's just say hypothetically I had a brown shingle and I look at you, oh, I want my roof to be black. And you'd be like, your shingles are in really good shape. And I go, then paint them black. You'd be like, no, we got to replace them. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, in that circumstance, I'm sure you'd be happy to take my money because I'm insisting that I want a different color.
Yep, trends change, right? So a lot of times the wife wants a new colored roof. She wants a different looking exterior. And sometimes that outweighs whether that roof's in good condition or not. But either
Makes
way,
sense.
we can help.
I love that. You guys take the, honest, friendly approach, knowing that there's a possibility I might run into you at the grocery store or
Yep.
maybe at the Iowa State Fair trying some butter on a stick or something. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us at Right at Home with Right Roofing. Again, talking with one of my favorite podcast people that I get to enjoy my time with, Ryan Johnson. Buddy, thanks for helping everybody. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know that you've got things that you could do, but educating people is very important. And I just hope that everybody who sees and watches this, whether you need just a roof inspection or whether you need siding, windows, whatever it is, just call Ryan and he'll just give you an honest assessment and it'll be done right the first time.
That's correct. Thanks, Mike.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. And thank you. And I look forward to our next talk, Ryan.
All right. See you at the State Fair.